Ooh, baby, we have made it to season 3 of Super RPG. Friends, welcome, all of you absolutely beautiful people. It's an absolute pleasure to see everyone here. We are starting out season 3 with Final Fantasy VII. Today's going to be a special, extra long episode. We are going for 3 hours. We're also giving away a Steam copy of the game. I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, John and Joey. You know them, you love them, they're here. But we're also bringing back 2 fan favorites. We got Hunter and we got Spencer. Joey, tell us about your relationship with Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Wow. So I grew up with Final Fantasy from when I was like 3 or 4. FF1 was probably like one of the first games I ever played. And so I played FF4 when it came out. I played, well, not like right when it came out because I was a little baby. But I played FF4 and FF6 growing up. And then I remember I got an issue of Game Informer that was talking about how Final Fantasy was not going to be on Nintendo anymore. And I was pissed because I was in the words of Solstice AR, I was an unabashed Nintendo fanboy as a kid. And so I was really pissed, and I was like, whatever. And then I played Resident Evil 1 at a friend's house, and I was like, I need a PlayStation. Cried to my dad for like weeks, months, and finally got one to play Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil. And so I got this game day one. I stood home sick to play it, and basically that was my original Scrimblow. My thing is I saw a commercial of this game on TV, and I literally cried because I said they copied Nintendo. So, yeah, I was not a very intelligent child, but love FF7. I have very, very strong experiential memories with it. It's a good-ass video game. Excited to talk about it and play with my friends, guys. I love pop punk and pizza and my friends.
So Spence, what's your experience with 7?
Yes, well, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be dead. I would.
I was gonna say,
I'm like, damn.
Well, I wouldn't be dead.
Life
saved my life.
I played Final Fantasy VII when I was young. It was my favorite game ever. That and Kingdom Hearts, and then I listened to podcasts called Final Fantasy Union and Kingdom Hearts Union, which were part of the website gamingunion.net back in the day.
Thanks for the sub, Totter.
Which I think is down now, which is really sad. And I would go on the forum and I would talk about it, and I would talk to the hosts of the podcast, and then I met one of them in person, and he's still my good friend. And then from there, he introduced me to Will at Monster Vine, and then all because of Final Fantasy VII, and then that led to me being on Super RPG. So it's it is literally the reason I'm on this stream right now, and it's not like
there's actually a direct thread. That's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah. It's my favorite game of all time. It's a hefty thing, but I don't know. I was the exact right age that a weird polygonal 3D spiky hair man with a sword who was mean was like, yes, thank you. That is what I will be when I grow up. The story, and I love the silliness of it a lot. It's a very earnest game. It's very sure of itself. It's not like,
thank you for the gift sub, NECA.
It's from a different era. It's a very, wears its heart on its sleeve. It's very weird. It's very fun. It has a good little story. And for folks asking where my sword is, I am house sitting right now. So my keyblade is at home.
You can take your fucking pick with me, baby. I got the Buster Sword, I got the the Busted Sword, and the Masamune, baby.
Yeah.
How are you gonna defend the house without a keyblade, Spencer?
That's a good
magic.
Yeah, no,
Magic.
I have to use like blizzard, thunder, fire, that kind of thing.
How are you gonna get into your car blade if you don't have your keyblade?
No, you gotta answer for your crimes, man. What's up with Final Fantasy VII and you?
Well, I had a PlayStation. I switched. I ditched Nintendo when an N64 came around. Yeah, I was like, because you were following Final Fantasy, Joey. I was following Mega Man, and I was like,
very based, very based.
That's up there to me.
Yeah,
look at that! Look at that bad tattoo from fucking 15 years ago. That's the first one, baby. Someone on pills did that. It was great.
So one day, it was Christmas Day. I hadn't asked for Final Fantasy VII, but I got it, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty dope. And I had like dabbled in some Final Fantasies on Super Nintendo. Like I rented them back when that was a thing, but like I never got very far. I was, stupid kid. RPGs are hard. So yeah, I boot up Final Fantasy VII, and the train pulls up and everybody just piles out of there, and they just clock those execute guards. And I'm just like,
Spoilers, Frank.
this is awesome. Like I was in, like 100% in from that moment forward. And the game just keeps giving, and it was like one of the first games that did a total like expectation subversion when you leave Midgar, and you're like, oh, there's more.
Else.
Like I thought that whole game,
like that was it.
City
Yeah.
to the suburbs, bro.
Yep.
It's
and I
like
was
the
like,
transition.
this is insane. So it does such a good job outdoing itself, like at every turn. Until there's a giant meteor hurtling towards the planet.
You're just
I like that as like a recurring motif for like discussion points about how the game outdoes itself at every turn. So I'm gonna keep that in mind, man. That's a big Galaxy Brain thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of Galaxy Brains, John, the biggest of all brains, tell us, brother. 7.
7 was amazing. I loved it as a kid. But the big story behind that one was I had spent the whole previous year doing odd jobs and saving up so that I could get a TV for my room. At one point, the week or two before Final Fantasy VII came out. So I had a TV in my room as a kid, which was just amazing at the time.
Kevin, you can't come in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Kevin,
we gotta
why are
kick
you
you out.
here?
We appreciate
Kevin,
you.
why are you here?
Kevin, we appreciate you.
I think he misclicked, bro.
It's
I think he
okay.
misclicked.
It's okay. It's okay. What's a little Super RPG Friends without a little bit of craziness? I mean,
I was
really.
promised if I'm on
We
this
hardly
show,
get
there will be no mistakes, there will be no errors, there will be no fuck ups.
So I end up with the TV in my room, which was apparently a really bad idea because I also bought a case of Jolt Cola. And I started playing the game Friday night. And then I remember I was fighting Ruby Weapon. And my mom comes and knocks on the door to my room and says it's time for school.
Final Fantasy, technically the first RPG I ever played was a Final Fantasy game. Visiting my mom's best friend in New Jersey, playing Final Fantasy 1. Where, my parents were doing parent things. I don't give a shit. I'm a kid. I'm just like, oh, there's an NES. I just basically figured out what was the highest numbers and ended up with just a team of like 4 fighters and figured out how far I could get with just the most unga bunga team possible. But I remember playing Final Fantasy 4. I remember I rented Final Fantasy 6 from from Blockbuster. And I'll never forget just that they were in the, what was it, like the Cave of Ruins or whatever? It's like a mid-game area where you find the portal to the Esper area. But they were in this spot where
Sealed cave.
Yeah, it's Sealed Cave, that was it. They had like all the characters, they had all this magic, all these like mechanics and shit. And that I remember playing that and just messing around with it and just being like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then from there, I had a PlayStation. Well, my older half brother actually had a PlayStation. I used to stay up till after everyone went to sleep so I could play Twisted Metal 2. It's been a really long time since I've played Final Fantasy VII, the normal one. I played Remake and everything like that. So I'm honestly super pumped to revisit it and see how I feel, a few years down the line from the last time I played it, as well as getting to sharing the experience with all of you guys. Here we are. We made it.
His friends
There
come
it
up
is.
to him and they're
There
like,
it is.
I'm having an issue.
Just what we were
the
waiting
game.
for.
Yeah.
We were waiting for
Here's the
it
game,
the
man.
whole time. New game.
Ooh.
Make our way through.
It's
It's
a
okay.
real
No,
thing.
we're actually playing
It's just
Final
messing with you.
Fantasy VII. We're sorry. We had to give everyone but Vyser a slight heart attack. I'm an team Aaron.
I already forgot about Aaron.
Dude, I fucking love the battle models in this game.
And they're so good.
good.
It's one thing that when you see the even like at that point in time when you saw that first like model, like the field model, you're like, oh cool, fuck yeah. And then the battle loads and you're just like, because I remember I played this first on the PlayStation Underground demo disc. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember
yes.
that too. Damn, this is Chaz grown up.
Yeah.
The hell you all doing? I thought I told you never to move the group.
Yes.
It's the North Mako reactor. We'll meet on a bridge in front of it.
This is one of the Nebula. This is a really good point because I kind of wanted to date Barret, but there's a lot of work involved. It's very specific. I mean, me and Barret kiss, but like you can't see that on stream.
Yo, it's your first time in a reactor?
No. After all, I did work for Shinra, you know.
Planet's full of Mako energy. People here use it every day. It's the lifeblood of this planet, but Shinra keeps sucking the blood out with these weird machines.
You gotta put your dukes up like he does too. It's so good. I'm not here for a lecture. Let's just fucking do it, alright?
Fine, whatever, kid.
Fuck you!
Yeah, okay, look, guys, you're taking liberties with the dialogue. Stick to what's on the fucking
Fuck,
page.
shit, alright,
You
alright.
read those typos and poor grammar.
I live inside you from now on.
Yeah, alright.
Oh, they unfused.
Oh, little by little, the reactor will drain out all the life. Then that'll be that. The planet's dying, Cloud! Robo-cards come. PS1 RPGs have such a nice, like, fuzziness and, like, 90s anime, like you said, the lack of sharpness is actually kind of fucking, like, super dope, you know?
I'm just taking a moment to appreciate these backgrounds.
God, such a fucking cool design. So are these? They're supposed to be like cybernetically enhanced or like almost like cyborgs, right?
Right, yeah.
So funny enough, actually, Takahashi of Xeno fame designed the Magitech armor. So my man was in the mechs from early on.
What's wrong, Cloud? Hurry it up!
Yeah, sorry. Here we go.
First boss battle.
The boss theme in this is so fucking good.
And they don't use the boss theme for this fight for some
yeah,
reason.
they tease
Yeah.
you, man.
It's like a fake boss battle.
Hey, Angaku, I agree completely. That's one of the reasons why, like, I truly feel like Midgar is one of the most beloved segments in any video game of all time. So that's why, like, when I understand a lot of qualms with Remake, like I do, but for me, I see one of the most loved fucking sections of gaming expounded upon in a really good way and made to be even more than it was originally. So, like, I loved it. I had such a good time spending 40 hours in Midgar, essentially, when it came to Remake. When people were giving me a lot of shit for peeing on stream, alright? I haven't done it since. Barret?
Alright, now let's get out of here.
Yeah,
No,
wow, Frank.
I don't want any of that shit.
Guess we're not dating. I guess we're
Yeah,
not
what's the
dating
plan?
Eris.
I guess
We're dating Barret.
Oh, we want to date the dead girl. Okay.
If you ended up having to cosplay Don Corneo, you would then, from that point forward, be the owner of a velvet, really trimmed robe. And I think that's something that I think we all kind of need.
You'd catch me in that every single morning when you hang out. You'd like wake up,
Like a smoking
and I'd be cooking fucking eggs in that smoking jacket. Like,
Your wiener would be
what's
hanging
up?
out and
What's up, Hunter? You want some
You'd
steak,
be-
baby? And you'd be like,
wearing
yeah.
How the hell would I know? Do I look like a mind reader?
Fuck. Looks like I'm a little late.
You're damn right you're late. Come waltzing in here making a big scene.
It's no big scene. It's
Well, we need
just
some big Zambians.
what I always do.
Cloud over here.
Oh,
Wake up! Everybody put a little makeup. We're moving out.
Easy.
Follow me.
They must have a real calculating leader. I wonder what they'll do next.
it's so
Bro,
good.
what? Oh, your nose is interesting. What's your ethnicity?
Oh no!
The upper world. City on a plate. It's because of that pizza, the people underneath are suffering.
I love pizza too.
Fucking pizza.
And the city below is full of polluted air. On top of that, the reactor keeps draining up all the energy.
Then why doesn't everyone move onto the plate?
Have you tried?
Cloud's really on that. Why don't they try not being poor?
No,
Bootstraps.
because they ain't got
Bootstraps.
no money. Maybe. Because they love their land, no matter how polluted it gets.
They should pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
I know. No one lives in the slums because they want to. It's like this train. It can't run anywhere except for where its rails takes it.
Oh, I love this motif though. Honestly, I don't know if this was in the original script, but using this like analogy or metaphor about the train is pretty kino, bro. So
You know, I never picked up on that, but that's real good.
Well, he mentions
Love
it
the
like
cutscene.
6 times. There's the whole like, once you get on this train, there ain't no getting off.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, I think Cloud says it like 48 times in the game. He's like,
Yeah.
wow, this is really like a train ride. And they're like, Cloud, we're about to fight Sephiroth. Cloud, we're on a boat. It's nothing like a train.
Cloud,
Cloud,
you're in a
please.
wheelchair. You
Cloud.
can't like you don't have any mental faculties right now. And he's
Cloud
just-
in his flashback.
Wheelchair's like a train.
Wow, this really is like a train, huh, guys? And they're like, Cloud, all right.
Yo, get over here, all of you!
Fucking train graveyard.
Life
In the
really is
chat,
like a train.
Darcy
Eventually,
saying-
you're in a graveyard too.
It's like the train encounter
I-
things.
Who would kill all these
Frank's
trains?
using the
Today, the number one reactor was bombed. The terrorist group, they're saying avalanche. I'm hearing avalanche. Avalanche has claimed responsibility for the bombing. They are saying it is expected that Avalanche is going to continue its reign of terror and citizens of Midgar. There's no need to fear. I have
Thank
the
you for
best
the gifts I
robo-guards.
posted, bro.
I have the best soldiers. I have immediately mobilized soldier, and that's all capital soldier, to protect our citizenry against this senseless, rotten, evil violence. We're gonna kill them. We're gonna blow them up so bad they're gonna be so dead.
Yo,
Avalanche.
what's up?
I'm going upstairs. I want to talk about my fucking money, honestly. Honestly, that's
Gotta
what I'm
get
about right now.
paid.
Wait, Cloud.
Tifa, let him go.
Tifa, let him go. Looks like he still misses the Shinra.
For sure.
Uncorneo got an adult
Oh, yeah.
circumcision.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
chose to get one.
Yeah, he heard that it feels better. So he paid like some wall market quack.
As they are.
Yeah.
On Corneo got
Wall market back alley circumcision.
You remember now. Do
Yeah.
you not are promised? I'm not a hero and I'm not famous, so I can't keep the promise.
Promise is a promise.
Sakaguchi's mom died when they were developing FF3. And
This music while you talk about that is really
yeah,
funny.
it's so funny. Yeah. Some little horn in there.
Russell Brand! Russell Brand is like an alt-right extremist now.
Russell Brand's mom died.
Anyway.
Okay,
Anyway, about Nut Sakaguchi. So his mom died, and he was like, "Hey, I've been thinking a lot about death. I really want to do a story about death and life and the cycle and whatever." So that was a big impetus behind the whole themes of FF7 about when you die, you become part of the planet. Life itself is all connected in a kind of not necessarily a new age way, but I guess it sort of reads like that. So that was a big driving force for a lot of the creative touchstones for some of the dialogue and the bigger themes of this game that come out toward the later half. I just bring this up because I think it frames the game really interestingly. You see everything about the game in this light, because this whole first part with Midgar deals a lot with death and in a different way, right? It feels a little bit more like, I don't know, like political, and then later on it feels.
This is a very political
has a different-
game. Yeah, like
Yeah, it
Like,
is,
for
but
sh-
like, okay, the thing you have to think about here is that like I don't know if there were necessarily direct overt intentions that were trying to be said. I think John Carpenter said that like movies and by that extension games don't really deal with specific messages, they deal with themes, and I think that that's really something to consider when you try to like analyze the game story or whatever. It doesn't mean that the game is apolitical, because that's fucking horseshit, because there's always politics and stuff. And anyone who says, I keep pounding, go fuck yourself. But like, I think what's cool about games that have like depth to their meaning, depth to their messages and their themes is that they can be interpreted in different ways. But if you try to put a Jordan Peterson slant on FF7, I swear to God, I'm coming for you. FF7, FF6, FF8 even, 9, they all have a lot of really, really cool messages that you can derive from.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that big time with those games for sure. Especially 9. 9 has a lot to say, in my opinion.
And remember that 7 was like a huge narrative shift for Final Fantasy, right? Like, I mean, that's why we were talking about the structure, like the linear versus the non-linear structure of the game. I think that was definitely tied to stuff. And there's a lot of like cinematic qualities. Dude, this game really tries to like underscore how you feel. Like, and they do this a lot with music. I'll try to keep it in mind.
I was gonna say, Orthodox mentioned Scarlett's a girl boss. Scarlett definitely was getting her high school friends into multi-level marketing schemes.
Oh yeah.
Before she
look at that
became before she became like a weapons developer. 100% that's what was going on. Oh look, I can run quick. Isn't that amazing?
I said, you say something? You lucky.
You can swear around me. I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
You get a train conductor who's like this, and it just fucking pisses you off.
I hate when you get someone on a
pisses you
plane. I hate when you get someone on a plane who woke up and they decided they were funny. There's nothing that makes me put I like turn my headphones on as loud as they're like, hey, how's it going, everybody? Y'all want some fucking Biscoff cookies, or you just want a little rum and coke? Yeah, we like to have fun here, everybody. I fucking want to kill myself when I deal with that shit when I'm going to a con or something. It sucks. Oh, what? My face security alert!
Sometimes my arms bend backwards. Twin Peaks and the first like 9 or 10 seasons of The Simpsons are my favorite two shows.
Did it go downhill after the 10th season?
Chet, I don't know if you knew this, but this is a Final Fantasy VII. It's kind of an obscure game. You've probably never heard of it, and that's why I'm twirling my headphone cord, because I'm flirting with you, Chet Manley.
Oh,
I talked about my Tinder on the show, right? My early Tinder?
No, let's go.
I don't think so. Let's do this.
Like in 2016 or something, I was like, I want to see how little people read on Tinder, and how little people look past like the first picture. So I just had like a pretty normal first picture of myself, and the rest was I had a Sonichu, I had a picture of Steve Brule, I had a picture of Christian, I had a picture of Goku. I just had a bunch of psychotic shit. And then in the description, it was even more psychotic shit. It was just like, it was like bizarre, like if it would be read on the news at some point.
Schizo shit. Real schizo shit.
And I would just like match everyone, and then I'd wait and see like, oh, they only looked at the first picture and my name, and then I would message them, and I would be like, it would just be bizarre shit. I'd be like, yo, they'd be like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I'd be like, have you ever seen a gremlin? Because they are keeping them from us, and they're out there, and I've seen one. And like just shit like that, where I would say just to see, and then sometimes they would be like, no, that's really weird, and then sometimes they would just unmatch. And it was really fun for like a year.
Look, sometimes people are desperate to get their ass ate.
Yeah.
You know, like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
The best part of that whole thing is they kept taking down the picture of Sonichu for some reason, and I kept putting it back up. and they kept removing it, saying it's inappropriate. And I kept putting it back up, and then yeah. So I don't know what it was about Sonichu, but and this was before last year's whole thing with Chris Chan, so it was not that they were removing Sonichu for. This was before that.
Damn. Well, thank you for that share.
Yeah. So now my Tinder's more normal, and I just don't use it.
It's not so
but it was
bad.
a fun like 6 months to a year, for sure.
Hunter is crying right now because he sent you a thirst DM, and he didn't know that was you.
You're the woman I asked
like-
about the Gremlins, Hunter.
Yeah, he's hurting now.
I believed you.
Sephiroth. Did Tifa do this, or did Sephiroth do this to you?
Stomping in his chair.
Guys, I think Frank's going beast mode.
Damn, man, get a hold of yourself.
That is
fucking-
really hurtful to say, Barrett. He's having a mental health crisis.
He's having, like, really, Barret? That's fucked.
If you guys want a Final Fantasy VII code, type Ace Bonanza is my favorite YouTuber.
Ace
That's not
Bonanza is
gonna
my
increase your
favorite
chances.
YouTuber in the whole
Oh,
world.
yeah.
I love Ace Bonanza is so handsome and pretty, and I love Ace Bonanza.
And if you want 2 Final Fantasy codes, type your credit card number.
Dude,
I'm gonna
I'm
fucking
sorry,
whoop
Frank.
this shit out of Joey. Are you kidding
no,
me?
I'm
I'll put
sorry,
you
man.
through a wall. It's fine. It'll be a
dude,
great fight. It'll literally
No,
be like
I've
a.
never lost a fight.
Me neither, buddy. Oh, here he is.
Oh, here he is.
President Shinra.
You guys get a little bit more to that.
Himself.
Why is the president here?
Yeah, so you were all, what was it again? I don't remember. Mountain or ice
Avalanche, and
storm?
don't you forget it.
Tell me, traitor, because that's what you are, you're a traitor. What was your name? Because frankly, I don't remember, and I don't care to remember.
It was Cloud.
That's a stupid name.
Don't give a damn about none of that. This place is going up with a bang soon.
Please tell him to be quiet.
Hydrate.
The
that?
fucking jam.
This is such a good fucking song.
Dude, I've heard this song probably thousands of times and it still slaps.
Hey, you gonna be all right?
I'm really strong. You worry about yourselves. I'm all right, but please. He's a smooth
Don't
guy.
mind me. Don't
All
mind
right.
me. Hey, sis, this one's a little weird.
Shut up, sir. Shut, you damn dirty Shinra spy.
Look, he's stepping on the.
They were Mako eyes. Yeah, all right. Come on, get to work.
I recognize him. He's the one running the Encyclopedia Dramatica page.
Oh. And don't step on the flowers.
You just
This track right here.
It's so good.
That synth.
Whew.
That
Finally made it
tambourine, that's
off.
all you need.
No one. My house is over here. Hurry before they come.
Oh. I'll hurry. All right,
Save
here-
point.
Perfect.
Ideal timing.
Good time, yeah.
Perfection.
This is a format of consumption I have not yet done, which is playing it on stream with some funny people and some good buddies. So,
Hey.
Dude,
you
this
know,
is
this is just hanging
it's
out,
been
you know.
awesome. Like, what an awesome fucking first episode. Like, I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
stress enough how this was like. This was peak Super RPG, friends. Like, this game meshes
Kino.
so well with. Yes, Kino. It's above the Kino cold.
I gotta
Um,
say, it's interesting watching somebody else play because I don't really think me and you have talked that much about Final Fantasy VII, Frank.
No,
Like we both have just been like, yeah, it's good, we like it. But like you make like a lot of the exact same decisions I make, and I think it's just like I don't know, maybe it's all obvious once you're like an adult with an adult brain. But I don't know, it's just cool to see somebody like play the exact same way that I would and feel like, no, maybe I'm not a dumbass, or maybe we're both dumbasses. I don't know, but
Maybe who cares if you're dumb?
So I'm not sure.
you know,
if
just
someone said-
immediately as soon as the first opportunity you hooked up Bolt All, and I was like, yep, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen,
No,
listen,
and it's
listen,
always- it's
Hunter.
always both.
There's a reason people think we're brothers. All right, we think Back when I was a bit skinnier, before I had all this good relationship weight on me, me and fucking Hunter, we look like fucking brothers, and we used to get it all the goddamn time. Yep.
As we were terrorizing convention floors.
Literally terrorizing.
Love a good terror.
Oh, absolutely.
John, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Love revisiting it. Always happy to play it again. I remember playing it the first time, and I think it was said earlier that you think or you imagine that the whole game is going to be based here. And it really gives you a sense of how big this is right in the beginning. You're like, man, this place is huge.
Yeah.
This is going to be all that we're dealing with. And then, surprise, surprise, you have an overworld after this.
So much more. Yeah, they do such a good job with that. It's I feel like sometimes I forget just how dense Midgar can be. Like, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, we'll get to Wall Street on the first playthrough, and like, not even close.
Walmart.
Like, Wall Market. Yeah, not Wall Street. You're right. Yeah, we're gonna get to Wall Street, baby.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into fucking...
It's like Northern Echo.
Listen, I want to put 80,000 gil on Mako energy.
Actually,
right now.
I got a really good segue, and
Yes.
if I may steal the mic for a second, is
Please.
that Wall Street is actually a really good thing to bring up here, because around, like, before FF7 came out, Square went like public on the stock market, and that was a fucking enormous influence on what their projects would be like moving forward, right? Like, people like to wax poetic about FF7 being like a creative renaissance or shit like that, but dude, like, the drive to be like a successful company on the stock market in Japan was enormous, and I'd never hear anyone talk about this. It's a huge historical thing. So I think that, like, it's interesting to see how Square at this time was trying to tap into the mainstream, you know, and like, you see that a lot with the setting, the Western influence, the easy to understand but like deep themes, and I love every time I revisit this game, I notice something very different and something to reinforce that, and I think I've talked enough about that on the show, but it's cool to see. It's going to be really cool to see that moving forward when I'm just a spectator. So yeah, what about you, Spencer?
I love Final Fantasy VII. It's my favorite. Unsurprisingly, still love it. It's really fun to play with pals and do silly voices, and yeah, I think the game does a really good job of making you think it'll be in Midgar, because like twice they're like, look at all the sectors, and the plate and the pizza and you're like, oh, there's a lot to explore, and then the game's like, gotcha.
Not really, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a good point to how they do, how they mention like all the other ones, kind of making you think like that's where you're gonna go, when in reality, that's not at all the case.
Yeah. And it's also just a very, like, we didn't get to a lot of the weird stuff yet. We got to like some of the silly dialogue, but it's a very, like, when people were saying they didn't know how the remake would go, I think that's because there's like a very weird tone of like, not just the wall market thing, but like
Let's Mosey. There's
like Let's
weird
Mosey, and
like
frog status, and like the golden saucer stuff, and like there's a whole bunch of stuff that is very like, it's not afraid to be silly, even though it is like one of the more like serious or like beloved Final Fantasy stories. It's not afraid to be goofy and weird, and I like that a lot.
Hell yeah. And Frank, anything that you want to say before we do the plug thing?
We're pretty much as far into that as we could be. I agree with everyone. That was an awesome reintroduction to Final Fantasy VII for me, and I'm immediately just like having a great time. I already can't wait for next week. This is, by the numbers, this is the best stream we've ever had. So I'm over the moon, and I want to give a shout out to every single person that participated in the stream, every single person who might be watching this VOD, and every single person who was just hanging out in chat, watching, doing their thing, and that participates in this community at large. I'm very humbled by the numbers and the participation tonight. I'm very humbled by how absolutely fantastic everyone who's on the stream with me tonight is. And damn if Final Fantasy VII isn't one hell of a game that immediately meshes with what we do best, which is having a good time and talking about influences, personal memories, doing great fun voice acting. I'm honestly, I'm over the fucking moon right now. And that is how I feel.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I agree with everything Frank. I wouldn't have sworn, but I agree with everything else that Frank said.
Yeah, because you didn't want your pastor to hear it.
I wouldn't cuss.
No, yeah,
Speaking-
the past.
Speaking of your pastor,
I just don't think it's necessary, and I think it's kind of like bad. But yeah, no, I do agree with everything else. Yeah.
Speaking of your pastor, Spencer, where can we find you? What are your socials?
You can find my pastor at the Church of Scientology.
Oh no!
No.
Just kidding. No, it's the Westboro Baptist Church. No,
Oh,
No!
you went
kidding
worse.
again. No, you can find me. I'm on Twitter as @Spencer_MV. I think it's really funny that the Twitch chat says I just wrapped up streaming Pokemon Red/Blue when I did that a year and multiple days ago. But feel free to follow me on Twitch because I do want to start doing Twitch again. You can check me out on YouTube as Ace Bonanza. I want to get back into making videos now that you can't tell from my background, but I moved recently to my own place and I have a bunch of stuff set up, so I want to have free time to start making more stuff again. And otherwise, yeah, just check out my Twitter is where I post all the stuff that I care about that I do. So just go to Spencer Dash or _ whatever Twitter allows, MV, and see how long you can endure my brain rot.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And John, you want to plug any socials?
No.
John doesn't have socials. He's
John doesn't plug socials.
strictly off the grid.
This is your only source of John.
I
So
was
he's
gonna
really
say
good
yes,
source of
please.
John.
That's the spin. Is that if you want John, this is the only fucking place to get it. Like,
Although the
Yes.
occasional Cerulean Skies.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Oh shit! Oh, what a segue. Okay, so
Wait a minute. Hold on, Joey. What's Cerulean Skies? Hold
what's
on.
Cerulean Skies?
John just wants a quiet life.
I
Cerulean
do.
Skies, we do. It's kind of RPG focused, but generally pretty media open. But we basically do podcasts, streams, all sorts of fun stuff, reviews, articles, all that good stuff. You can join our Discord right there. You can find our Twitch as well. It'd be really cool to have you guys on there if you're not already on. We actually had John and Frank on the RPG podcast, which is not dissimilar to this. It's just a little bit more talking heads focused. But yeah, we're still playing through all the East games. What are we doing? Oh, we're probably gonna do some spooky time. Get some Alien Isolation. Get some Silent Hill 2. And yeah, what do we have? Oh, and FF1 as well. I believe Kelly is gonna be playing through FF1.
FF1's so fun.
It's a good ass video game, man. The Pixel remaster, not the NES version.
You got to
'cause
do
she doesn't
all
hate herself.
fighters. All fighters.
All fighters.
That is the
Honestly,
kind of shit I would do as a kid, yeah.
I said, the HP is the highest and the attack is the highest. Clearly, this is the party to make. You pick 4 of them and you're good to go.
I did the same shit with
Okay.
Pokemon Gold when I was a kid. I was like, I like all water types, so I'm just going to use
Oh shit!
Totodile and Slowking and Lapras.
Yeah.
That's not the right one. My bad. It's really Skies Live.
Wow.
Oopsies. But our Discord is right here if you
Wow.
want to join.
Wow.
Anyway, Hunter, how about you?
Twitter is pretty much the only place I'm like active at the moment, so it's just at Dookie Shed, and I shitpost a lot. So
That's a really good name, by the way.
oh, thanks.
It
I
is,
came up
it's
with
great.
it in 6th grade, and
That rules.
then I just got stuck with it pretty much.
Poopy House.
And he started yelling about Pokemon, and the rest is history.
Poopy House. Cool. Your link's in there. And what else we got? Just Frank. Yeah, just up to you. Bring us home.
You guys know what this is my biggest baby. Other
Like,
than
no gang
that,
signs, please.
yeah. sorry. Other than that, premium
No
edition
Young
games. Right now we have our Series 5 games live right now with our new partnership with Screenwave Media. Pretty cool. They're the people who do like they help run like fucking Angry Video Game Nerd and shit like that. Eagle Island, Twist, Love 3, both really awesome side-scrolling games. No one else knows it, but on Saturday we're announcing the pre-order window for the second half of Season 5. So that's a little Super RPG Friends exclusive for y'all. Other than that, again, holy shit, I can't stress how great of a stream this was. I had the best time tonight. Thank you all so damn much. Just keep being awesome. Hang out in the Discord, talk. I can't wait to get to know everyone even more over the time, and just I'm over the fucking moon about season 3 for the show. This was an amazing start to it, and we're gonna ride this fucking momentum all the way to the end, baby.
Proud of you guys.
Me too.
And thank you guys for joining us. This is fucking great. Thanks for keeping us up for 3 hours. That was dope.
We're gonna close this show out the way we always do. It doesn't matter that it's season 3, 2, or 1. We still close the show out the way that we started it, and that is with an Earthbound reference. And that is 3, 2, 1. Fuzzy Pickles, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you all so much. Y'all fucking rock.